Welcome back, Rare Race fans. It's me, Apex Predator, here again. So for today, it's a Nations race, using this M3 Sport Evo again. So very similar to that last daily I showed you, except this time it's a Nations. So we've got qualifying that we jump into here. So the car's on sports hard tyres this time instead of racing hard like the daily, and it's not tuned up like it was in that daily as well. So I think it's the standard car in this race. It's a bit less power, but it'll be closer to 230, maybe 220. And that meant that it just felt a lot more drivable. Just seemed a bit more better suited to the sports tyres, I found. More progressive, less sort of snappy on the limit. So we're on the out lap here. I'm quite keen to get past as much traffic as I can to start the hot lap. Including this guy, so we're looking up the inside. He's a bit, what's the word, a bit laggy. You see him sort of skipping about a bit in the mirror as well. So here we go onto the first hot lap. Lots of traffic, of course, but I wanted to just get out there in this race. And I felt with Tsukuba being such a small track, I felt like even if I waited at the back, I'd still catch people. So I wanted to just get out there and see if I could get to the front. So we took a bit too much curb there through the chicane, so we're going to take that chance and nip past him on the outside. Nice line through there. Could have just been a little bit more aggressive on exit, again throttle application on exit, but not too bad. And this corner's great. It's all about just balancing the car. So sort of pitch it on the nose on the brakes on entrance, and then sort of balance it mid-corner, and then push yourself out on exit. So not a great first lap, but we didn't have a clear track. I think Lightning got the world record for Tsukuba in this car, so he managed a 1:08.6. And I think because he was a good sort of 3 or 4 attempts quicker than anybody else, I think he was the only person to get into the 1:08. I think everyone else was 1:09s. My fastest in practice was a 1:10.1 with an optimal of 1:09.9. So optimal was just in the 1:09s, but only just. And as I say, I think Lightning was the only person at the time to get below 1:09, and he was using manual, of course, like me too. But he was also using he was using the clutch, so it just seemed to allow him just to change gears a little bit quicker, just carry a little bit more momentum. So watch, I think he uploaded it to YouTube, but I actually watched the lap on Gran Turismo, and I saw he later uploaded it to YouTube as well. So it is available to go and look if you want to see how you do this track absolutely perfectly. So yeah, we're a bit far from that. So as I say, my best was only about 1.5 seconds off him, which I'm pretty fine with. In this session, we've only done the 1:11, so I'm a whole second off my best at the moment. Oh, it is a tricky car. So I go into the pits because I realised there with that little snap just there that this isn't going to be a hot lap, and I was following him anyway. So here we go on the out lap, coming out of the pits with some fresh tyres. I still haven't managed to get faster than that time, obviously. Now here I'm being very cautious not to get in anybody's way, because obviously I'm on an out lap, so it doesn't matter what I do here. And I wish more people were conscientious enough to realise that, because there's no need. There's absolutely no need for you to be getting in anybody's way if you're on an out lap and they're on a hot lap. It's just unacceptable. But I do want to start thinking about getting past him here if I can. because I'm about to, you know, start my potential hot lap. So, of course, they're starting their hot lap as well. So you don't really know. I'm not going to force my way through, but I certainly don't want to be lifting too much past this point. So try and set myself up for a good exit and see if I can get past him. But we do have more traffic. But it doesn't mind, it doesn't matter, it makes it interesting. And like I say, we're not struggling for P1 here. I've got loads of pace in hand if I need it, but we did have 7 tenths. I think towards the end of the session someone got within 3 tenths, but still quite a comfortable pole. Which was a shame. I was hoping to have a bit of a better battle this race. There weren't any S rank drivers in it, it was just A's. A few lower ranks as well towards the back. Look at this guy cutting the grass. So I didn't improve in the end. As you see there, we just took that 111 to the pole. So here we go, and final one make Tsukuba, as you already know, using that new M3 Sport Evolution. Really nice car, really enjoying driving it. There we are on pole, look. And 111.7 to round off the top 3. So watch the start here. It keeps me in first gear. You don't want to just mash the gearbox there because you never know. Sometimes it does flick up the next gear just before it starts. So if I was mashing the gearbox, I might have ended up in third there when I needed to be in second. But watch it from his point of view. Look, he's got second gear nice and early as you'd expect. Just give me second gear, give me second gear. Look at the jump he got on me at the start. Ridiculous. A bit of a bug that. I wonder if everybody in third on pole position had that bug. But never mind. It's not a bit of an interesting first few laps. So immediately lost the pole position into turn 1, which was very disappointing. This car just looks so good on this track. It really does feel like you're watching like some retro touring cars. Well, maybe not quite. We're not quite going fast enough, but yeah, I think Tsukuba is a really good track to take this new car out on. Most other tracks in this game, certainly the fantasy tracks, are far too wide. You need something like this. It's quite a short little track as well. You know, it's a minute lap. Really get to feel the car's balance. So anyway, here we go. We pull out. We had a much better final turn than he did. So we're looking up the inside into turn 1. Don't quite get it done. Bit tail happy on exit, but we keep it neat and tidy. We are still on the outside. He's trying to close the door, look. I have to go all over the grass, give him a little flash as I say, oi, we're still here, mate. And then, yeah, contact, which was my fault, but like I say, watch this from my point of view. So we set it up here. Cautious on the brakes because I'm braking much tighter than I would be normally. And keep my foot in it to maintain momentum. He's looking to shut the door, but he can't because we're still there. I have to get on the grass. And he's like, well, two can play that game, mate. I want to take my line there as well, you know. So. And look, we got a big penalty for that, 5 seconds. He got 1 second penalty. We got the 5 second penalty, and I'm not even going to say that I don't deserve it because I think I do, but I didn't care. So obviously, you're not too pleased with losing pole position. and I wasn't too pleased with him trying to shut the door when we were still there. Alright, it's optimistic to be running around the outside on the approach to that little mini carousel, but so what, you know? It doesn't matter, I'm there. So, yeah, and it wasn't even too bad a contact anyway. It was no worse than what he did to us. He had plenty of curb he could use. It wasn't like I was pushing him off the track. I was just going, oi, you know, I don't think I'm going to let you run around the outside when you didn't give me any space about 2 seconds ago. So there we go. Got P1 back. Got a 5-second penalty, but we need to try and burn if we can. So job now is just to try and pull away. See if we can get a 5-second plus gap to P2. See when we're watching the replay, well, we're going to just go on board in a second, but you can see the weight transfer, how the body rolls around as you're coming off the throttle or applying the throttle. We're going on board for lap 4. I think lap 5 was my fastest lap, which is about right. You've got the tyres warmed up, I've got the track space, you burn off a little bit of fuel, got comfortable with the car. It's usually around the sort of time in the race where you'd expect the fastest lap, either now or late in the second stint. We're sort of building up to it now. You can see at the moment my fastest lap's the previous lap. But we're hitting purple sectors. Not wide enough on entry there, corner, but never mind. Like I say, it's the next lap I think we went fastest. Good speed there. Pretty nice on the brakes there. Could have got a bit more rotation, but we'll still power out. Neat through there. Again, don't take too much curb there because it will unsettle the car, and it will just take you a little bit longer on mid-corner to recover from that, from the car being unsettled. So it's just best not to do. I mean, you can take a little bit of curb, and quite often I do. Look how much wider we were for this corner than we were last lap. There's a lot of lap time there in that corner. I'd say probably that corner and this corner, so both last corners are probably the most important, because look how long this straight is, so if you mess up that hairpin, you'll be slow all the way down here. This is a corner where you can carry a lot of speed through if you do it right. I didn't do it particularly well on this lap, but well enough. I think was it 1:10.6? Quite happy with that, a 1:10.6 in the race. 2 seconds off Lightning's world record, but alright. But he wasn't doing it in the race, so to be within 2 seconds of Lightning in the race, I'm happy with that. And here we go, look, try and serve that penalty. So I had enough of a gap by this stage. I didn't want to do it on my in-lap either, which would be the next lap, because I wanted to have a quick in-lap, so I thought, now that we've got the time, I think it was about 5.5 seconds, maybe creeping up towards 6.3, something like that, when I decided to do that. It was a good corner to do it on as well. Made sure that I only lost as much time as I needed to lose. So I did it on the entrance of the hairpin so that I could get a good exit after burning the penalty. And like I said, I didn't want to do it on the in-lap because I didn't want it to be closer, you know, on pits. when we came out of the pits, I didn't want a car to be closer to me than I needed, so a little bit of strategizing. So now we're penalty free. I'd always rather be penalty free, because you just have a bit more confidence to race when you're penalty free. You don't have to worry about, you know, someone tapping you or something and getting a second penalty and that being enough to tick it over to a race destroying penalty, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to put in a good in lap here. We're good for fuel. Now I need to work on pulling away, making that gap again. It'll catch me on the way into that corner, but watch the gap on the way out. Not necessarily here, but throughout the race, you'd see the gap between me and P2 decrease on the approach to that corner, but then increase, you know, 3 or 4-fold by the time we got to the last corner. So it's worth keeping an eye on those sorts of things. I got a bit of negative SR for a pit entrance for some reason. You know, that little orange SR symbol that comes up. I think I brushed past that pit sign on the way in. So we skip to lap 13. So yes, try and look at the way the weight shifts throughout the chassis. So you'll see it most notably on the big load changes, so big brakes and fast corners. But you use that to rotate the car and get grip on either the front or the rear axle. That's the trick to driving fast. Can be hard to get a feel for it in the game though. You don't have the same sensation of the weight moving around. You just almost have to instinctively know that it's going to happen, and the brain sort of tricks you into thinking you felt it, but you haven't. You just know it's going to do it. So here's the ghosting looking full effect. It's definitely a Ghostbusters reference, but I'm not going to do it. But yeah, since this update, lapped cars aren't so scary. You see how much wider I was because I took a bit of curve there. You can use that extra bit of strip, it's what it's there for, but you know, I'd say it's more of a qualifying bit of track than it is for getting onto in the race. But see, a bit of an easy win in the end this race. I really enjoyed the car and the track, so that might partly explain it, but I think it's definitely because of that rank drop from Interlagos last week. But that's the only slight thing for me, is I'd rather be racing at the back of the grid than racing at the front. It sounds odd and it sounds like it's disingenuous, but it genuinely isn't. I'd much rather have a couple of laps side by side with someone and have that be for P14 than just pull away for P1. So I'm looking forward to getting back into S and pushing myself a bit more again. I think it'll only be a few days away. Like I said, I'm not going to be on tomorrow, that's why I'm doing the double upload today. I've got some real life go-karting tomorrow. But maybe towards the end of the week, or certainly over the weekend, I can hop back on and do a few races and see, because I'm practically there now. I saw in that Corvette race, I was the first car behind 3S rank drivers. I was just a bit, I can't understand why there's no one in this race, but never mind. Might have just entered it at a weird time perhaps. I would have entered the top 24 superstars race because I know that's a good time slot to go for, but there wasn't one for this. Round, sadly. I think tomorrow's Nations race is looking good though. It's in the Red Bull Junior. I think it's at Kyoto. that'll be a very good race. Because I'm racing. If I can, I'm not going to be able to do it before I go, but if I can do it when I get back, I'm going to try and do that. Okay, so I'm going to try and get back for that. I might be able to get back for a 9 o'clock one, but usually I'm not back until sort of 10, half 10, so I probably won't be able to make it, which is going to be gutting, but there we go, you know why. So yeah, that was that race. We've gone on board for the final lap, but there's not a lot to see, just bringing it home. But I love the race, really nice car and track combination. I recommend you give it a go. And it's a good showcase of the new DLC as well. Nice little FIA race, this one. I enjoyed it. You know, obviously the win's nice as well, but I would just rather it have been against a few SS drivers. But there we go. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed. I won't see you a lot tomorrow, but I'll hopefully be in touch over the weekend with some more content. All right, have a good time, guys. I'll see you later. Bye.